Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about a letter that USCIS has written to Senator Tillis in response to his request on what is the effort or what are the efforts that USCIS is taking to ensure that all the visa numbers for EB category are used in this fiscal year. We'll also talk about one interesting fact that USCIS is doing in order to adjudicate EB based green cards, especially EB2 based green cards, in a rush before the end of September. So let's deep dive into what are the things that USCIS is doing to use up all the visa numbers and speculate how many visa numbers they might waste this year, if at all. So watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now, if you need my personal opinion on your situation, do contact me on my Patreon site. That is the best way to get in touch with me. I get tons of emails, but I feel bad that I'm not able to respond to them. Patreon is a way to filter out a lot of trivial emails and really get to the important ones that you need my help with. So do reach out to me. Also, just to mention that I have links in the description for affiliate products. If you buy using those links, the channel will get a little bit of a commission. Now let's start. The first thing I wanted to show you is this article on USCIS website. It tells about fiscal year 2022 employment based adjustment of status FAQs. It's basically put together in the form of questions and answers or frequently asked questions, but it has very specific information that we all want to know. So let's go through it, and it is also related to the letter that USCIS has posted to Senator Tillis, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first let's look at this particular or FAQs. I want to read out the first paragraph because it is very important. The overall employment-based annual limit for immigrant visas in the fiscal year 2022 is approximately twice as high as usual, primarily due to the consulate closures abroad during the COVID-19 pandemic, which has led to almost 140,000 family-sponsored visa numbers going unused during the fiscal year 2021. So we all already knew about it. So about 140,000 plus 140,000, which is the base quota for employment based category. So we already know that there are about 280,000 visa numbers available in FY22 for EB category. Now they go on to say that if your underlying petition is approved and a visa is available for you, which means your visa number is or your priority date is current, but you know that your previously filed form I-485 does not have a valid I-693, which is a medical exam report, we recommend that you visit a civil surgeon and have a valid I-693 form on hand when we send you the request. So basically they are saying be ready with your form, get to the civil surgeon, get your form filled out, but be ready with it because we will send you an RFE notice and only then you submit it to us. In the past I had recommended that go ahead and proactively submit your 693. It seems like USCIS is reverting back to its policy that they want you to wait until they issue you a RFE. The only problem in that is this particular form, once I-693, after it is signed by the civil surgeon, it only has a validity of 60 days before you can send it to USCIS. Once it is sent to the USCIS within 60 days, then it's valid for 2 years. Now, here is another question. How many employment-based visas did USCIS and DOS use in fiscal year 2021? How many visas were unused in 2021? So it goes back to the previous statement that they were saying. The annual limit for employment-based visas used in FY21 was 262,288, nearly double the typical annual limit. And they go on to say that the two agencies combined used 195,000 visa numbers for employment-based visas in FY21. We already know this. DOS issued 19,000 and USCIS issued 175,000. So basically they are saying the total number of in spite of the best effort, the total number of visas that were wasted last year were about 66,000 visas. So remember, how many were available last year? Last year there were about 262,000, and out of those 66,000 were wasted. So this year we have even more. We have 280,000 visas, and those are to be used before the end of September this year. So let's see the second question, and this is a little bit important one. Can you estimate how many family sponsored or employment based immigrant visas USCIS and DOS will use during the fiscal year 2022? DOS currently estimates that FY22 employment based annual limit will be approximately 280,000, so which we know. As of mid-June 2022, USCIS and DOS have used significantly more visas than at the same point in FY21. So they are saying that at this time in the year we have processed significantly higher number of visas as compared to the same time last year, which is a great news. So that means that they have sped up their application processing adjudications this year compared to last year. The rate of USCIS adjudication is also significantly higher than last year, with USCIS alone using more than twice as many visas on each week basis than it did at this point of time in FY 2021. We are well positioned to use all the available employment based immigrant visas in FY22 despite the higher annual limit. This is what they are claiming. So they are claiming that they are going to use entire quota of 280,000 visas that are available for employment based category this year. Now before we go into our topic, watch this sponsors video. Now this is their site. Now Exter makes a lot of personal products such as wallets, card holders, and these wallets and card holders are specially made. They are either from leather or they are from the metal, and these are very minimalist card holders. They can hold up to 7 cards, I think. They have the classic collection, they have the carbon fiber collection, there is also a limited edition collection. Now there are also technical sleeves, so if you are minimalistic, if you don't want to carry a wallet, there is also tech sleeves, and there are iPhone cases and so on and so forth. This is a German company and they have sent me some products to review, and I can tell you that just by the feel of it, these are extremely high quality products. The classic collection has this Parliament wallet which they had sent me in the black color, and there is also a Senate card holder that also they have sent me. The best feature of these wallets are there is a button at the bottom of the card holder which when you press the button, it actually pulls out all the cards like a fan, and you can select each card just by looking at it. So there is no more fiddling into your wallet. Now if you use the link in the description which has my code of Wisdom Trends, you will get a discount on it. So check out these Exter products, they are excellent. So that's Exter, the sponsor of this video. Now this is the important statement here. Through May 31st, 2022, the two agencies have combined used 149,733 employment-based immigrant visas. We remain committed to taking every viable policy and procedural action to maximize our use of all available visas by the end of fiscal year. So they are saying they have so far up until end of May 31st, 2022, which was about a month and a half back, they had used up 149,733 visa numbers from employment. Now remaining are about 140,000 visas. So basically they have used all the quota that was spilled over from family based category, and we still have the entire quota of employment based category to be used up for the remainder of 4 months. Now they go onto a lot of other questions. Will my case be processed faster if I file a second I-485? Now this is an important question. Let's see what they say. Submitting a new adjustment of status application typically does not result in faster adjudication and may have the opposite effect by adding to the extra burden of USCIS. Now I get this question a lot and I keep telling that if you already have a petition, I-485 petition in EB2, then there is no need for you to file a separate fresh application. A lot of people are so anxious and they want to get their green card, thinking that if they file another petition, it will get processed faster. There is no such thing. So USCIS is clearly saying that filing parallel petitions with the same employer will not ensure that you will get your green card sooner. What are the key challenges in using the available employment-based visas in FY20? That is a general question. Some of the challenges are USCIS capacity constraints, then lower than optimal demand in EB1 and EB2, and that's the reason they had progressed EB2 dates by leaps and bounds. Continued capacity limitations at DOS consular posts. We know the consulates are still closed. Most of the consulates are running at a reduced capacity, so those visa numbers are going wasted. And missing or invalid 693, which is the medical forms. Lapse in authorization of EB5 regional center until March 2020. So they were not able to issue those visas for EB5 in 2022. Remember, those EB5 visa leftover numbers go back to the EB1 and EB2 categories as well. And then they go into a lot of measures that USCIS is taking during the FY22 to use the available visa numbers. So I want to pause here because I want to get to that letter that USCIS has responded, and it is concise and precise. So it is most of that information is taken from this particular article that USCIS has published previously. The letter of response that they have sent to Senator Tillis is kind of a summary of this page. So let's go to that letter. Now this is the response letter that USCIS had sent in response to the request from Senator Tillis, Tom Tillis, who had asked USCIS, okay, what are the steps that you are going to take to ensure that you use all the possible visa numbers for employment-based category. So let's read out this letter. Now let's come to the gist of it. Now, how many employment-based visas did USCIS approve in FY 2021, which is exactly what we saw in the other article. So I will not repeat it. There were 262,000 visas available, and they wasted 66,781 last year. So for this year, they are saying they are 280,000 visas for FY22, and they as of now here they have changed the date. They are saying instead of May 31st, which is what was mentioned over there, here they are now added a few thousand more visa numbers over here. Through June 5th, the two agencies have combined used 154,000. So if I'm not mistaken, within 5 days they are claiming that they have adjudicated 5,000 cases, which is significant. If they speed it, if they do it at that pace, I'm pretty sure they're going to exhaust all the visa numbers, not by the end of September, maybe by the end of August itself. So through June 5th of 2022, they have already used up 154,000 visa numbers, which is great news. Now let's look at what has USCIS calculated an estimate of how many visa numbers may go unused. Now here they have not told how many will go unused. They are saying they are intending to use up all the visa numbers. So USCIS is claiming that they will not waste any green cards this year, and I want to believe that, because the pace at which they are doing, it's incredible. Now one thing that I want to kind of say is that there have been instances where USCIS has sent letters to individuals asking them to send them a letter back saying that, say for instance, somebody has an EB3 case pending with an employer. They downgraded their petition from EB2 to EB3 in 2020. Now they changed employer to a new employer. So they still are waiting for their adjustment of status in EB3. Now they are with the new employer. Now what USCIS is saying to these people are, if your priority date is current and if you had a previous I-140 with even your previous employer, just send a letter to us that we want to use that previous employer's I-140, and we'll attach that to your pending adjustment of status, which is in EB3, and will automatically upgrade your case. So they are not even asking that if the job is the same and things like that. Maybe they will ask us to maybe they will ask you to submit a supplement J that will confirm that the job is similar. But this is the proactive action that USCIS is taking, asking individuals to attach a previously approved I-140 even if it's with a previous employer that they are no longer working for, which is incredible. So USCIS is going to these lengths to make sure that they are using up those visa numbers. They are under incredible pressure, and I have full confidence that USCIS is going to completely use up all the quota for EB2 or EB green cards this year. Now, some of the other things that they are taking, measures that they are taking is prioritizing the processing of adjudication of employment-based adjustment of status applications and underlying petitions at our logbook intake at National Benefits Center. Continued to apply risk-based interview waivers. We know that interview waivers are happening a lot, and very few people are getting the interview request. They are getting, however, they are very small number. Work collaboratively with the DOS to ensure that the dates in the visa bulletin are significantly advanced. So they advance these dates for EB2 for the sole purpose of getting all that demand, so that they have enough applicants to use up all those visa numbers. Allowed applicants to use the date of filing chart in the DOS visa bulletin through May. Typically they only allow date of filing chart until end of December, but this was the first year after a long time they have allowed to use date of filing chart until May. Provide overtime funds for supplemental USCIS staff, prioritizing the adjudication of underlying immigrant petitions to focus our efforts on the beneficiaries who may receive immigrant visas in the FY 2022. Reuse biometrics wherever possible, redistribute employment-based adjustment of status workload between the offices, publish communication material notifying the public that USCIS lacks sufficient inventory, and encouraging eligible non-citizens to consider applying for adjustment of status in EB1 or EB2. So they have proactively done so in January through April. Establishing a new process dedicated single mailing address for interfiles. We know that. Publishing communication material about the transfer of underlying basis, proactively asking for medical forms or keeping ready the medical forms, so that whenever they issue an RFE that the candidate is able to submit it right away. So these are the measures that they are taking. They have also went ahead and provided some kind of a numbers. So if you look at the comparative analysis employment based visa number use since 2011 to 2021, as you can see, there were very few visa numbers that were wasted actually. In fact, in some of these years there were actually more than 140,000 visas that were processed. But lately in FY 22, we obviously know that due to COVID there were a lot of visa numbers wasted. So in 2020 there were about 9,100 visa numbers wasted. Last year there were 166,000 visa numbers wasted, but the total available were incredibly high. Like, see, this is the usual volume or usual quota that EB category has, about 140,000 visas. FY21 was the first year where there were almost double the visa numbers available, but the shortfall in the sense how many visas were wasted, about 25% were wasted. So they gave a lot of numbers in response to Senator Tillis. They also go into what are the specific barriers that they are facing, and it kind of goes into the same kind of things that they had mentioned in their article in the past. Now they also did some comparison of fiscal year 2021. They're saying as compared to the first quarter of last year to the first quarter of this year, they have processed about 7,000 more visa numbers. In January to March, they have processed significantly higher. So last year they had only processed about 19,500 in the second quarter, but this year they had processed about 32,657. So the point here is they have significantly increased the speed. Now in one of my previous videos I had told that they may waste about 100,000 visa numbers this year, but now with the speed of applications, now with the numbers that we know as of May, they have already processed they have already used 149,000, and as of June 5th they have used 155,000 visa numbers. That gives us a hope that they are probably going to use up all the visa numbers this year. Maybe a month from now, when we get the third quarter numbers, that will give us some more indication regarding how fast they are processing. But if they can process 5,000 visas in 5 days, that gives me a confidence that they will be able to use up all the visa numbers well before the end of September. In the worst case scenario, there might be a few thousand visas wasted. We'll see, but I think USCIS is making ultimate effort to use up all these visa numbers. Once we get the third quarter numbers, I'll make another video to predict how many visas may be wasted this year. Until then, let's hope that they use up all of them. So if you got the value out of this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.